Happy Sunday evening, everyone. Buckeye Scoop family, Buckeye Nation. Hope all is well. Listen, do me a favor, hit that like button. If you have not already done that, hit that like button now. Also, if you have not subscribed, please consider subscribing to the channel. We are cooking right now. Listen, we were, like getting to our goal of 37K. Now our goal is 40K, and we're zooming towards that. You can help be a part of that next goal. And also Apple Podcast. For those who love the podcast, please go subscribe to Apple Podcasts. It's free, it's easy, quick. Do that for us. We would greatly appreciate it. Also, listen, man, we said this yesterday. You just never know what else is going to break, what other news is going to come up with this Michigan stuff, because it's like the never-ending story. Like on Stranger Things, when they kept singing a never-ending story, Dustin, and I forget the girl's name he met at camp, never-ending story. This is what this is. It just won't stop. And so we're going to talk about that tonight. Also, remember, when you send those fantastic, wonderful super chats, best chat in the land, I'm going to keep saying it, helps go towards the Pay It Forward, which is our military and our first responders. We're going to look out for them because they always look out for us. Let me bring in the illustrious panel of Nevada Buck and Dev from the Buckeye Boys. What's up, fellas?
What's going on, B? How you doing today?
I am doing okay. I'll say this, man. Like I said yesterday, we got pounded with snow yesterday here in Columbus. So me and my son were out there doing the grunt duty. I need to get me a snowblower, man. The neighbor, I looked over, had a jealous moment. He had the snowblower out, just like just killing. I'm just me and BJ out there just scraping away. But cold, snowy day here in Columbus, but it's all good. That's what we do here in Ohio. How y'all fellas doing?
I'm good, man. You can't you can't go get you can't get a snowblower, bro. You got to keep building that character, man. You got to build that character with that shovel.
I feel it. It's tempting, though.
I can see B Moses out there a bit like Mr. Plow, like the Homer Simpson thing, or Mr. Plow. He's got the little plow service out there with the little snowblower out there doing the thing and snow blowing for all the neighbors and stuff like that. Like being all those videos that you see on Instagram, like the charity guy that's out there like, hey, do you want your thing there? And you're out there snow blowing everybody on the street. You're that kind of guy, B. You know what I'm saying? I can see that.
Diddly do, neighbor. I'm like Ned Flanders, the black Ned Flanders. I can roll with that. I like
that. Oh man, B, I can just see your B. I'd be like, hey B, we need a pod. You're like, I can't, Nevada, because I'm like blowing snow for everybody, all the neighbors. I'm like, B, you can't be doing this all the time. You're like, dude, I got a snow blower now.
Pod can wait. I'm saving the world one plow at a time, Nevada. You're so insensitive.
Hold up, B. You could get an Ohio State player and start an LLC with him.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And start clearing a lot of snow.
Yeah. And, there would be no backlash, no consequences. We would just laugh it off. Whatever. Just stupid. Real quick, let me shout out my dude, Keith. My dude, Keith, sent me this extra fire Julian Saying shirt. It's him hushing the crowd up in the big blouse. Thank you for the shirt, brother. Very clean. I appreciate you. Wanted to show him some love for that. But anyway, listen, fellas. Once again, we wake up, we yawn, we stretch, we check our phones, and lo and behold, another day, another piece to the Michigan stuff. And so, Nevada, have you heard? I'm going to play the audio. It's only like 40 seconds. I'm going to play the audio, but before I do, have you heard the audio for this yet?
No, I have, and it's I can just tell you, you'll play the audio so people can hear it for themselves. But there's reports coming out of Ann Arbor, out of Michigan, that ex-Michigan players, existing NFL players, as well as existing Michigan players, are threatening the victim in this case. And with Michigan, they've had it's a time-honored and well-worn tradition up there in Michigan to do this. I think Taylor Lewan famously threatened to rape a former rape victim if she came forward with reports or kept reporting on a thing. So it's kind of the Michigan man thing to do. But again, these reports, and B can play the tape, but this is not coming from the Buckeye Boys. This is not coming from B Moses in Nevada. This is not coming from Devin. This is not coming from Funky. This is coming from Ann Arbor. And B, why don't you just play the tape and then we can just kind of discuss. I mean, it's already a disgusting story, but it just keeps getting worse. Just when you think it's been hit rock bottom, it gets worse, and this is about as bad as it gets in my opinion.
Definitely agree. So here's the clip, and we'll go more into it in just a moment.
Saying that, Reiner, the things we're going to hear in the next 48 hours, 4 weeks, whatever, are going to be so incredible and mind-boggling. Just got a text with one saying that it's going to come out that former Michigan All-American and NFL star, I think you would say, and some other players threatening the victim if she dared to change her story and go to Ward Manual. Again, Reiner, the things we're going to hear.
So there you go. And just before we dive into this, because I know some people are like, who is this and why do we believe this? First of all, this dude, his name is Jack Ebling, okay? Did a little bit of research on him. He's a sports media veteran in mid-Michigan. Local radio, if you are in the greater Lansing area, where he's won multiple awards for Michigan Sports Writer and Broadcaster of the Year. Okay, so this is not just some random schmuck with a show and a microphone. I mean, he's an established, just picture your local media people here in Columbus. There's several who've been pillars of the media community. You know, it's one of those guys in the Michigan area. And so at this point, I would say, for even if you're skeptical, why would you be at this point? Like, why would you be? So anyway, wanted to kind of lay that groundwork. Devin, like, what was your thoughts when you first heard this, bro?
Well, I mean, my thoughts is, hey, we told you guys there's going to be way more things coming out from this, right? That Michigan did their own internal investigation and found nothing, yet all these other reporters are saying they knew as well. And now it's coming out that players are calling and threatening, right? Allegedly, other players, NFL stars are calling and threatening, but yet Michigan's own internal investigation found nothing. Another piece of evidence to point towards the fact that this thing was drawn out and waited for this to come out. I know that's a different avenue to go, but it's up one of those other things that, hey, you want to know, number one, is this actually true? And kind of in that waiting period of wondering if it's actually true or not, most of the time, you would give the benefit of the doubt in a situation like this. But so many times, man, they have proven that you cannot do that. This fits the mold perfectly for the way they have been operating, the style of program that they have built there. It started back in Jim Harbaugh, when Jim Harbaugh was telling his staff members to lie to the NCAA. That's when all this started, right? They want to get that culture of kind of like a thug type of culture where, you protect the program at any cost. Again, this is all because the number one thing, the only thing they care about above people's lives, above everything else, seemingly, is beating their rival, which is us.
Yeah, Nevada, what you got on that, brother?
Well, I mean, look, this is a story that's we've been reporting on this story for a long time. We've been reporting on the malfeasance that's been going on up there that hasn't been just limited, to the hockey, to the football program, that's permeated the entire athletic department, and just a litany of scandals. And we've been asking for almost 2 years now. How does Ward Manual still have a job? How is this going? And not only getting a job, but getting an extension. And when that happened, it was one of the big head scratchers of all time. And now what's going on? I mean, you saw last night on the Saturday Night Live cold open for the show, they actually had a Michigan reference to Sherrone Moore and his thing. Now, when that starts to happen, that's when it's finally. I guess there's going viral, there's going mainstream, and then there's that. I mean, this is so far beyond everything right now. And for Michigan, it's the embarrassment. It's the embarrassment that they're in a situation where they are a national they're a punchline to skits on Saturday Night Live, and that's not where they want to be as an organization. But it's been out there. It's been out there for so long. They didn't care about it because they were on this just unthinkable winning streak against Ohio State, and now they've got a clean house. And you say, well, why should we care about this? Well, the reason that I think it's interesting and why I think it's particularly relevant is it's directly impacting their ability to attract their next head football coach.
Yeah.
I mean, they're in the midst of an internal investigation whose sole the charter responsibility target is to get the firing of Ward Manuel for cause so he can get out of his contract. So think about it. The athletic director and the president are the two people more than anybody who's on point to hire football coach because that's who he reports to. Interim president, athletic director on his behalf. Ward Manuel has been removed from the search committee for the next football coach for Michigan. So, it's an absolute mess. And when you talk to people in Kalen DeBoer's camp or Kenny Dillingham's or Jed Fish, or they're like, it's a mess because you're not sure who you're talking to. You're not sure who has the authority. You're not sure who's been has the color of responsibility to be able to make an offer that's binding. To make commitments regarding coaches' salaries, NIL, what the Michigan commitment to the football program is going forward, and it's just a mess. So now that this story's coming out on top of it, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I've been speculating that they spin the coaching carousel and it just all comes up on Jed Fish. I'm not even sure if it comes up on Jed Fish anymore. I'm not sure if you'd end up back at Biff Poggi. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're Jed Fish and you've got your quarterback Williams coming back next year, if he comes back next year, what's a better team? What team has a better chance to win games next year? Washington or Michigan? I'd submit it's Washington. I'd submit that's a better job. So I'm not sure that's an upgrade to go from Washington, both in the Big Ten, rich recruiting area on the West Coast. I'm not sure it's a better job coming to Michigan than it is leaving Washington. And you come to Michigan, you get Underwood instead of Williams. Oh man, I guarantee the Washington quarterback scares me a heck of a lot more than Fats does. And I'm telling you, Jed Fish realizes that as well. So I think this whole thing is just creating a toxic situation that's making it impossible for them to move forward with a new administration, or whether it be impossible or extremely difficult. But it's a mess up there, and I'm loving every minute of it.
Yeah, and so is television. Here's the skit right here on SNL. That's giving Michigan football coach. Can we get the I mean, bro, like it's crazy. It's crazy. Look at that face. I mean, you're on SNL at this point, man. It's insane. And so, Nevada, I was talking to some buddies earlier, and I think people are starting to come around to what we were saying about how this is worse. This situation and Sherrone Moore's crash out, his R to the ERO, like you said yesterday, took this to a whole nother level. Like, basically, let's just say that the Committee on Infractions gave them the 2-year required bowl ban that shows in the documents that they should have gotten, right? Okay, boom, that's great. We celebrate, hey, that's good. But this, which is of their own doing, is much worse, in my opinion, because, again, we already gave them a bowl ban by keeping them out of the playoffs. They suck, and, they're irrelevant as far as the national landscape. And then now they got to deal with this. Now they don't have a coach. They're fighting to get a coach. They don't know where they're going next in the program. I would argue, and I think people are coming around, fellas, that in hindsight, this situation is actually worse than what should have happened, which was the multi-year postseason bowl ban, which is what we predicted. Fellas, what you got?
Well, yeah, the national humiliation. I mean, for Michigan people who've talked for so long about this carefully cultivated idea of the Michigan man And I mean, that's their identity. And that's who they believe that they are. And that's who they want to portray to the rest of the world that they are. And to have that thing pulled down, look, if the NCAA gave them the required punishment, they could just talk about NCAA overreach or, rogue thing or whatever you want to go with. But now there's no hiding from it. This is their guy. This is their coach. This is, and if this story comes out on top, and I have no reason to believe that the story that we're talking about here isn't true. You talked about the benefit of the doubt. Yeah, Michigan, you lost the benefit of the doubt on this stuff a long time. That train left the station an awful long time ago. So I believe this story is true. I believe this story is just getting started for Michigan, and I don't think it's even close to as bad as it's going to be. And I agree with the idea that this is way, way worse for Michigan because you're getting all your worst nightmares. You're getting all the punishment, all the financial thing, and you're getting nationally shamed. So for Michigan people, this is about as bad as it gets.
Dev, do you agree?
Yeah, absolutely, man. And one of the things we talked about earlier and one of the previous shows was how this affects the players, right? What's going to happen with this? And interestingly enough, before this thing popped up, before this guy came on and said this about NFL players and stuff, I've been hearing, through the grapevine, I'm kind of connected in the player type arena there, that the current players, allegedly, the current players on that team were utilizing this situation to their advantage in certain nefarious ways. And that brings about a whole nether cup of tea. So I completely, believe this thing still isn't over, even after this. And what you guys are talking about this coaching search, right? It's kind of wild because what coach is going to come into this? And I want to ask you guys a question too. We're talking about a university that has, everybody knows what they've done. I could go through the whole list. We could talk about it, but they have hired, a law firm to come in and do their own investigation. Well, this law firm is hired by them, right? So how do we know what is going to come out of this? What is the point of doing this if it's if it's the university that has been allowing these things to happen? Now all of a sudden they're going to call in, right, all this big time lawyers and stuff to do their internal investigation. We know how those go. We know the first internal investigation yielded nothing with this Sherrone Moore stuff. So I find it very interesting what's going to come out of this and what they're going to allow to come out, because I heard Nevada talk about kind of how it operates when larger companies or something do an investigation. The people that get hired, they know, right, the timeline. They know what, whoever's hiring you, they know what they want the outcome to be, right? So I'm very intrigued to see what comes out of this, because this isn't even, right, the area that I was hearing more stuff was going to come from, but it's coming out now. I'm curious to see how this affects the current players. Are any of these current players involved in this? Because if they are, it opens up a big time problem well beyond, what we're talking about now.
Hey, Nevada, you want to, we actually talked about this yesterday. I asked a similar question and Nevada really laid it out clear as far as their intentions. And Nevada, did you want to address that again? Because I think that's a lot of people's questions about this investigation. Is it real? What's the point? I think we should address that again.
Well, it's total kabuki theater. This whole thing is kabuki theater. This is designed to get Ward Manuel out. The law firm that they hired have got 8 partners with degrees from Michigan. The colors of the law firm are maize and blue. And you can't make this stuff up. I mean, that's who they hired to do this investigation. So the idea that they're going to get anything other than what they exactly want, which is a report that says the culture is broken, there's lots of bad things have happened, and it's all Ward Manuel is a big meanie, and he needs to be fired. I'm just telling you, I'm going to summarize the report for you right there. That's what it's going to say. And so, because that's what they want it to say. These are Michigan stoolies that are just kind of going along for the ride, just kind of laying it out, and that's what's going to happen. So if you're looking for any type of insight or additional stuff, that's going to have to come from outside. That's going to have to come from Justin Spiro on the Corum LLC thing. And let me tell you, there's traction on that, boy. So you can tell the operational tempo on that whole story is starting to pick up. So like this will be about the 57th time we've told you guys about something in advance. And people, oh no, that it can't be true. And then it comes true every single time. I am telling you right now, that story is not dead. That story is it's gaining traction. It's gaining allies in terms of people digging into this thing. And I truly believe that story will see the light of day. I truly believe the Harbaugh charity story, where he diverted funds from a charity to go to the Michigan football, that story is going to see the light of day too. So this, but don't look for any other stuff to come from this investigation. This investigation is a sham. This investigation is a put on by Michigan solely as a hit job to get rid of the thing that they should have gotten rid. They should have gotten rid of Jabba the Ward a long time ago, and they didn't. And they left him around, and they've let him run roughshod over that athletic department. And as bad as I think Harbaugh is, and I think Harbaugh is a disgusting human being, but I think Ward Manuel is every bit as bad, because he's done this to not only the football program, he's done it to the basketball program, he's done it to the hockey program. He's ignored credible evidence of sexual harassment and sexual assault and other things going on up there in Michigan. Just a crooked guy. And I think he's going to get what's coming to him now. And not really in a good way, because he'll still walk away with millions of dollars as a parting gift for his silence. But yeah, make no mistake that that investigation is a sham put on by a sham Michigan law firm, and that's what you're going to get.
B, you're on mute.
Hold on, I was about in the middle of sharing my screen. I was clicking the mute button. It wasn't coming off. I want to show y'all something, because we need to, as we cover this, we need to continue to highlight their hypocrisy, Nevada and Dev. Look at this. I already showed y'all, Spiro showing the quotes about Tressel and Tatgate and stuff like that. This is classic. This is your boy Desmond Howard. Okay, this is him back during the worst scandal ever. Tatgate, players exchanging their own property for discounts on tats. I mean, it was awful. Just evil human beings. This is what this clown said back in 2011. The Big Ten used to be about. Let me do a voice for him. The Big Ten used to be about Midwest values, good morals, blue collar, hardworking people. With what happened at Ohio State, that whole image has been tarnished. There's people in other conferences that are like, wow, what the hell was going on in Columbus? And for how long? I'm always happy to see anybody who cheats the system and get caught and get out of the game. Desmond Howard. You can't make this stuff up.
B, that was really good, man. That was really.
Thank you.
It's like I felt like you were. The problem is you're like too intelligent, B. You're too intelligent. So you need to knock your intelligence when you're doing the Desmond Howard voice. You got to take your IQ down about 70 points. You know what I'm saying? You were using big words and you were pronouncing them correctly and stuff like that. So I wasn't quite there. I don't believe you, B. I just don't believe.
Let me note this down. Dumb it down next time. And
you guys
noted.
You guys know the wild thing about this, man, is you see all the trolls in the chat, man, saying America doesn't care. Why are you guys reporting on this? And earlier when this thing first broke, I said, man, I would love to see a response from their fan base that gives a dang, right? Gives a dang about these kids, the university and their program. And it's unfortunate, man, because you have a side of them that are following, D-bags like him, like Portnoy, that are allowing this mindset to come down. And it's just like, what do you mean? Why is Spiro reporting on this? Why are we reporting on this? Where are you going to go to get the truth? Where are you going to go over to the Michigan sites and find out the truth, what they're reporting on it? ScamWeb reported there is nothing to see here. How many of their people throughout the entire process have said Jim Harbaugh's not going to get, anything out of that what the Big Ten did to him? Nothing's going to happen. They even still rely on saying that their $30 million fine showed that nothing really occurred. What are you talking about? Justin Spiro had a beautiful post about saying it's the most damning report the NCAA has ever written. And that's the truth. The problem is nobody else that their job is to come out. They're insiders, they're reporters. That's their job. Come out, report the truth about what is going on in there, and they won't do it. They'll hold on to information. They will blatantly lie to their subscribers. And it's like, what do you mean? Why are we reporting on it? Well, because we get the information first, right? And they aren't going to tell you the truth. What do you just want to keep living in la land, man? I mean, it's so wild to me that you still have such a large number of their fans that are still riding this Michigan man train still. Now, there are a couple that I have seen, oh, I'm done with this university. But, dude, there's still a large amount. Have you guys, how many have you seen, like, try to not back this thing up, but try to fight this thing, act like it's not a big deal, act like everything's still fine? Where are you guys at with that? Have you seen a lot of fans mad about this, or have you seen more fans arguing about this?
I'm going to offer kind of a counter view on that. I think they all know. I think what you're seeing is fronting. I think what you're seeing is people trying to put up, these appearance, the Dave Portnoy, just lie, just to appear that it doesn't bother you, appear that, you're not rattled, you're not bothered by what's been going on. But you know what? They all are. That's why they're here. That's why they're on this show. That's why these shows do such big numbers with all these Michigan people coming over here to yell and scream. You know what? They all know. They all know. They all know, because at the end of the day, it's been obvious to everybody for so long. And now there are certain things that it's like, Captain Obvious. This is we've kind of gone past the point of this being even a fact in dispute. They are the most corrupt athletic department in the history of college sports. What they have done has been absolutely beyond the. If any one of the scandals alone would have been there, they'd be the most corrupt. But the fact that they've all happened simultaneously at the same time under the same administration within a 24-month period of time, it's absolutely unbelievable that thing is still operating right now. But I think they all know, and I can't. I'd like to think that they're just blissfully unaware, and that's why they're doing it. I don't think that's what it is. I think they know, and they're just trying desperately to just try to hang on to some shredded thing and try to turn it around, make some argument, try to draw some false equivalency to Tatgate or to Urban Meyer should have known about Zach Smith. He should have been an investigator and investigated Zach Smith. I mean, we'll hear all the silliness and all the ridiculousness, but the bottom line is they're the ones. That's the punchline for the comedy shows now. They're the ones that will always be known as the cheaters, and I think deep down that's what bugs them more than anything.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think. Listen, I live in Columbus. I live in Ohio. So I deal with Michigan fans here in Ohio. Excuse me. Then you have the intrinsics and the Spiros who deal with the Michigan fans in Michigan. And there's a difference. And I've learned a lot from them, from the fact of, we've heard blue wall, right? We've heard the blue wall. I've heard that, over the years. But it means something different from those who are actually in the area, who actually live in Michigan, to actually experience the media firsthand. We see it from afar on the internet, but they really do have a blue wall. But that is just, the fan base and everything that comes with it is an extension of just what they do there. And I'm saying that to say is that knowing this fan base all my life, the delusion and the arrogance and just everything that comes along with them is just otherworldly, Dev. They're never going to admit it. They're never going to admit anything, at least publicly. There's going to be a sprinkle. You're always going to have maybe a few. It's like, man, my homeboy Michigan fan, he's cool. He's disgusted. He's like a unicorn compared to them. But like Nevada said, I do think a lot of them know, but they're never going to come out in public and say, you know what, this is terrible. I'm ashamed. They're not going to do that. Now, on the flip side, Ohio State fans, not me, okay, because I always thought Tatgate was stupid. You had Ohio State fans and media by the droves just, we're so ashamed. This is so heinous. Tressel, you're just turning on the program, and we're sick about this. And I'm thinking to myself, like, this is dumb. This is dumb. Yes, they broke the rules that existed at that time. So, okay, suspend them, do whatever you got to do. But this over-the-top stuff that came with Taggate was ridiculous, fellas. But I'm doing that as a contrast to show you the differences in the fan bases. They're trying to point to that stuff and lump it in and compare it to what's going on with their program the past few years, and it's not comparable. And at the same time, they're minimizing and downplaying massive cheating that affects the on-field play of the game, not tattoos for your own property. All right. They're doing that. They're just oh, Matt Weiss, well, let's just move past that. They downplay and dismiss everything. So that's my long-winded answer, Dev. I agree with Nevada that a lot of them do know, but they're never going to admit it. But the bottom line is that's who they are. We're never going to get them to have a come to Jesus moment, ever. So in the meantime, we will laugh at them. We'll enjoy the SNL skits. We'll sit back and we'll report whatever happens, because guess what they did? The Desmond Howards, their local media, whoever, pounded Ohio State for tattoos, for trinkets. So yeah, we're going to report it. Not just because of that, but because we got the sources to report it before everyone else. And so we're going to keep on doing that. And by the way, the bowl game is a few weeks away. We are going to dive into the bowl game. We got some weeks. Okay. They haven't even started the game plan yet. We're going to get into that. But right now, this is one of the biggest stories in the country. Like maybe low-key even outside the country, fellas.
I forgot to mention something earlier, guys. I'm in one of those group message Twitter things. And yesterday I saw some guys talking about this law firm that Michigan is using. And I'm sure you guys are aware of this. I don't know if you've brought it up yet, but this news came out. Hey, Michigan going to investigate the whole athletic department. This is the law firm they're using. They're really, really good. I reached out to a buddy. He said, Intrinsic told me how good this law firm was. Well, right. The research I did from this is the same law firm that did the initial investigation on Sherrone and his the staff member that came to the conclusion that there was nothing going on. So a little piece of information. I did a little digging. Did you guys know that? Have you guys reported on that?
Yeah, we talked about that yesterday, because that's what got me questioning. And this is what I asked Nevada live on the air yesterday. As like, in light of this, what do you think? And then basically, he just brought it around like, yeah, the objective is to find the cause to fire Manuel so they don't have to spend that $6.75 million. That's it.
Yeah.
This is the objective. And I was saying that you're not going, for those who are expecting, because we got a lot of questions about how could this not be lack of institutional control? And so one thing, digging through this whole, stallion stuff, we learned a lot about the bylaws and the different things and the difference between lack of institutional control and failure to monitor. No, this investigation is most likely, barring some miracle, not going to have any effect like that. It's literally just to say, okay, we got the goods to fire Ward, get him out of here. We're not paying you $6 million. That's the purpose.
Yeah.
So Nevada, what you got, brother, before we get to super chats?
Well, one, I want to get a reminder to everybody, like the video. You guys are here. You guys are coming here. Give us hit that little thumbs up button right there. As B said before, subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the channel on Apple Podcasts as well. Really helps us out. If you like this content, we work hard to try to dig these stories. This is why we've been digging on these stories and had this stuff literally months and years before the rest of the mainstream. The rest of the mainstream media is just catching up to stuff that you guys know as our audience that we've been talking about for a very long time. We've brought the receipts. We're bringing them again on this one, and we just appreciate you guys all doing it. But yeah, no, it's just such an awful story. And yeah, look, we'll get to talking about the bowl game. As you said, we don't even know who our opponent is going to be yet in the bowl game. There's some things on Ryan Day, and look at it through wide. He's got literally over 100 resumes looking for a wide receivers coach. Recruiting's kind of all calmed down. Legend Bay is probably going to commit to Ohio State. After he turns 18 on Christmas Eve. So we'll have coverage. We'll have all that. We'll have all the best bowl coverage. We had information on the board about Tigra going through a minor surgical procedure on a lower body situation. So the right guard spot's a little bit up for grabs right now. But yeah, this is the biggest national story, and this is a story we've been at the tip of the spear at with Justin Spiro now for now at least a year, and we're just going to keep reporting on it. And I get more questions about this story than everything else that we're doing combined. So it just seems topical and definitely something that I think is probably appropriate for us to continue to dig into.
Absolutely, absolutely, and the the viewership confirms that. People want to. For people who aren't even invested like we are as a rival, as a football fan, college football fan. It's an interesting story to them, and now, you're going to come to the source that's been breaking a lot of this stuff before the national media. Like I said, there have been several big podcasts, like huge subscriptions on these podcasts, sharing clips of our stuff. So yes, we're going to continue to be the leaders in reporting this stuff because we got the goods. But in the meantime, shout out to my homie Buckeyes Cruton. He made this. He said this is going to be a live look at Ryan Day watching the Miami Texas A&M game to see who we play. This was hilarious to me. So yes, we don't have an opponent yet, y'all. So listen. This is what we do. Like if it wasn't for the Michigan scandal stuff, of course we'll be talking about all. But this is what's going on right now. We got plenty of time. We need to find out who we play. We will break it down like always and give you the goods on that. But fellas, anything on that before I hop on super chats?
Now, do you have an opponent? Who would you rather play? Would you rather play Miami or Texas A&M?
You want to go first, Dev?
I'd rather play Texas A&M. I think I think their defense is dookie.
Okay, so real quick, I want to ask y'all because I'm thinking about quarterback, defending the quarterback. Who's the tougher, quarterback to defend? Sleepy Eyes Beck, who's pick interception happy, or your boy, his name escapes me. Please help me. Who can, who's a pretty good athlete.
Beck.
So I'm just no, the Texas A&M quarterback.
Oh, the other. My bad.
Yeah, what's his name? I can't remember his name. I will
the chat's
Google it
gonna
if you
put
don't
it in
know.
there in 2
Yeah,
seconds.
the chat's going to do that real quick.
I don't know. They'll put it in there.
It's Marcel Reed.
Marcel Reed. So who would y'all rather defend? Just strictly from defending the quarterback, who's the tougher guy to defend?
Reed.
Okay, so I guess yes, A&M's. We've seen them give up 30-something to South Carolina. I mean, they're very susceptible and not that good on defense. I don't know. Miami just doesn't scare me. I don't know, fellas. It's a tough one. I'm gonna go with Miami. I'd rather play Miami by a hair because Beck. I think we're gonna pick him off twice if we play him. Nevada, what you think?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to give Texas A&M the kind of the pseudo home game by playing down there in Texas. So for me, it's Miami, and I agree with you on Beck. Beck's a guy that'll put the ball up, veteran guy, but he'll turn it over. And but they've got some athletes, so I'm kind of ambivalent. But I think the home crowd thing pushes me towards Miami because Miami fans don't travel at all, and if we get them in the second round, that'll be 80-20 Ohio State fans in that game.
Yeah.
I got it. Just real quick explanation on that. I've thought about that as well, but I looked at what we struggle at, the red zone. I went and compared which team is better at defending the red zone. Miami's better at defending the red zone, so I picked Texas A&M. So that's how I did my my who do I want to play?
No, listen, there's a bunch of different ways you can look at it.
Yeah.
And until we get this red zone offense figured out, or at least we see it, like, hey, it's better. I definitely understand it, bro, for sure. First and foremost, Chris Heisman, thanks for being a Scoop Ultra member. Thank you for joining. Appreciate you. And everyone else who is Scoop Ultra members, we appreciate you and thank you. Jay Coburn, thanks for the $4.99. Noticing Spiro was posting more than usual cryptic tweets on Corum LLC today, since something massive is coming soon. So listen, I said a prayer on yesterday's podcast for the LLCs to come out. If them LLCs come out, it's a certified wrap. I mean, like, that means, for those who don't know, because we don't want to assume everybody knows, Blake Corum's name appeared on an LLC for a vacuum cleaning business alongside Connor Stallions. Okay. Either Blake Corum signed his name to it, along with a coach on the staff, which you cannot do, or Connor Stallions forged his name on the LLC, which is illegal, felony, I believe, in certain states. The point is, either way you slice it, is bad, and that will make him ineligible, Blake Corum, for the time that he was there. With that happening, which means bye fake natty. First of all, we don't acknowledge the natty anyway. Anyone outside of Ann Arbor, not just Michigan State and Ohio State fans, any fan base, we could clearly see that the people have spoken. Just look at the comments. Nobody respects that natty, but it would officially be gone, just by the rules, because he was ineligible. And so the LLC story is huge. If Spiro can get the go ahead to release the hounds, fellas. Nevada, what you got?
Yeah, and I sense that he's getting closer and closer to doing that, and I think he's looking for more kind of journalistic cover, going to some other big journalists in the state of Michigan to help him as he goes to publish it, because this is a big story. You're talking about declaring a player ineligible, stripping them of a national championship. Big story. Needs to be on the widest possible thing with the largest possible megaphone. And I think he's got interest. He's got interest from somebody in particular that would help him take the story nationally. And I think that's what Justin does, because the story really should be a national story. And I think Justin's pretty close to pulling that off. So we'll see.
Dev?
B, you brought up something yesterday about an LLC. And right, if you're going to be on an LLC with somebody, the steps you have to take. I have, owned and operated a couple businesses with a couple partners. That's what's always dumbfounded me about this whole thing, is that wouldn't be difficult to find proof here, right? If two people are on an LLC together operating a business, there is going to be proof. And when Justin Spiro talks about releasing what he has, you notice he doesn't say, I'm going to release allegations. He says, I will release the proof that this occurred. So it's kind of wild, and it makes your mind kind of think, well, if nobody's brought this up yet, how much effort has Michigan put in to keep this thing under the radar? You know what I'm saying? Because if somebody's on an LLC, there's a big, long paper trail, right, of that occurring. At least in my experience, there is. Maybe the big time, maybe Nevada been in business longer than me. Maybe he knows ways to skirt around that, but I do not. And I've always thought, if this is true, I believe it is, then there is proof that can't be too hard to get. And I feel like Justin Spiro is sitting there with the proof, not some allegation of he said, she said.
Nevada?
Well, here's what I'll say. I'll say if Connor Stallions, for some unknown reason, gave, essentially, because when you sign an LLC document giving somebody a percentage ownership, you're giving them ownership in your company. Gave ownership in this company to Blake Corum without Blake Corum's knowledge. It'd be the first time that I've ever heard of something like this happening in the world, like in the history of the world, that somebody just secretly gave. I mean, aren't you hoping every day, when you go to bed, that somebody had secretly given you ownership in like Google back in like 2004 or something like that, and you're like, oh my gosh, this is the greatest day of my life. It's like, B. Moses, we just found out that you own 2% of Google, and you're like, wow, that's really good. That's really, really good. I forgive you for secretly giving me 2% of this. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But like who does that? Just running around, like, who does that? Like, he's a secret owner. Like, they were like, well, he wanted to use Blake Corum's name. Well, just use his name to say, hey, Blake Corum's a friend of mine. He's affiliated. No, he put him on the LLC. He signed his name to the LLC documents. Like, nobody does that. Of course he knew.
Yeah.
And then his reaction, the reaction of Blake Corum, they're kind of laughing it off like it was just some big joke. And the fact that they've never ostracized Connor Stallions, that they've welcomed him in, even closer into the thing, despite the fact that he committed a felony, doing something that would make their star player ineligible and cost them a natty, and they're none of it adds up. Of course they knew. So we'll see how this whole thing comes down. But the idea that this was done clandestinely or without Corum's knowledge, just anybody with any common sense just looks at it and goes, that doesn't make any sense to me. So it didn't happen.
Nevada, you brought up something. When we get off this, I'm gonna go look and see if anybody secretly sent me any Bitcoin about 20 years ago.
This is what I'm saying. This could have happened. B, you got to go check, Devin. You got to check your emails, check your spam folder. You know what I'm saying? It could be in the spam folder. Like here, Devin. Here's 170,000 Bitcoin. You know, for that pizza you delivered the other day or something.
If that's the case, listen, I'm doing all my pods from Hawaii and from freaking Thailand.
Oh man,
I'm gonna drink all my beverages on air with my pinky in the air. If I find out I got 2% of Google,
oh man,
it's crazy. But no, listen, it's ridiculous. It's one of those things where we say, okay, now say it out loud and tell me this doesn't sound ridiculous. Of course it is. And so we'll see. To me, I feel like the dam has broken. You know, just like with Tatgate, the national media tried to come in and I'll say this real quick before we get to the super chats. One thing that scum fans keep trying to do is they'll post a picture of the not ESPN, whoever George Dorman, you know, the writer, the journalist guy, he came in and did some investigating and he found all these sources that he could not say who they were. And it was never proven. Oh, well, they rigged a raffle for a recruit to win something small and Tressel supposedly did XYZ, but no evidence, no proof, just allegations. How deep did it go, right? The whole magazine, y'all know, they like to post that. None of that stuff was proven. None of it, okay? But they use that as an equivalence to this stuff. Just stop it. Now we see the flip side of it. Now the national media hounds are coming in on this, an actual real scandals. And now you just gotta deal with it, fellas. So speaking of NCAA, here's the next super chat. So we got WV Buckeye. Thanks for the $4.99. Guys, let me be clear. If Moore offered season tickets for a little tail, the NCAA is coming. Oh boy. Yeah. I mean, y'all know about the story, right? Where he supposedly, you know, offered the OnlyFans model tickets to the Michigan game, you know, for exchange for some butt.
Yeah, no, she went live today on X or somewhere and stated that a lot of the things that were put out weren't true, right? She had some assistants who were working her X account responding, but a couple things were true. And the couple things that were true is that she went to the Natty game, right? Bought her own ticket, went. And after the game, Sherrone Moore asked her to come over to his hotel so he could hug her because he would love to hug her. And so she could get pictures with all the players. So she cleared all that up. So there's nothing there. It's all cleared.
Man, Sherrone Moore, man. He just, bro, he's always the simp. I mean, the level of simp is just astronomical. It just keeps getting worse. All right, well, Nevada, what you got on that, bro? Let's just.
Well, just Sherrone Moore doesn't have any game. I can just tell you that, man. I mean, Sherrone Moore just like seriously. I mean,
come over so I can hug you. Come on, bro. What manner of lame is this? What manner of lame is this?
You guys got to look that up and listen to it. You got to listen to it.
All right, show me the link later, bro. All right, go. All right, whatever. I'm sorry. Let's move on because this dude, man. Again, the weeping on TV like Harbaugh was assassinated versus Penn State. That was the telltale sign that we were dealing with this level of lame. I'm just being like, come on, let's just keep it a buck. Can we? It's ridiculous. Anyway, yeah. All right, here we go. Gio did. Thanks for the 5. Now Dillingham is working on an extension to stay put. LOL. Kalen DeBoer has come out again and saying I'm staying at Bama. They'll be reduced to Biff Tannen. I mean Poggi. So yeah, I mean it's looking more and more like a Biff Poggi campaign, Nevada.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think Jed Fish is still a live candidate, but I'm telling you, like I talked to a lot of agents, I talked to a lot of people in that, and it's not as desirable a job as they think it is. And Penn State kind of experienced this, you know, when Penn State fired Franklin in the middle of the season, and they're like, hey, we're going to go right to the front of the line. We're going to have our choice of coaches. And they went through 15 guys saying no. Well, that's kind of the situation Michigan's in right now. Michigan, they're at the end of the line. They're like the runt of the litter trying to feed, and the job's not a desirable job. The job's not one of those ones that is in high demand. And these other coaches, they're getting raises, they're getting extensions, they have more stable situations with ADs, with presidents, and with programs that aren't on probation and rife with scandal, and with better rosters. So yeah, I'm telling you, Biff Poggi could be the man, and they'll spin. Michigan fans will. Oh, that's the guy we wanted all along.
Right.
The guy that was
Right.
2-18 at Charlotte or whatever. That's the guy that's going to lead us to whatever. I mean, it's crazy how they've how far they've fallen, and I have no idea. When is rock bottom? That's when you're always asking these situations: when or do they hit rock bottom? I don't think they've hit it yet. I really don't think they've hit rock bottom yet. I keep thinking that they've gone there, and then they keep going a couple levels low. So I'm not sure where rock bottom is, but I don't think we're there.
Yeah, no, I agree. And we just said this yesterday. Remember, we said this yesterday. I was not joking. This was not me just trying to be silly just to end the show, with some humor. I was saying that we don't know what's going to break, like what's going to happen tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? And so because the thing is, though, like I said, people are digging into this. More and more, the sharks are circling. So more and more people are talking. So you just don't know what's going to pop up. And yeah, you're absolutely right, Nevada. They're going to spin it. They're going to try to, Poggi, yeah, he's great for the kids and for this university and all this other crap. We ain't trying to hear that. Y'all down bad. Just hold that L. All right, Dev, did you want to say anything? I know you walked away, and did you want to?
No, they got what do they have on campus now? The CIA, the FBI, the DEA, and then this own law. How many people do they have on their campus right now investigating them? And that thing I brought up earlier, Nevada said he thinks most of them know. The scary part is the ones you talk to, like behind the scenes, like in a chat or something, they're still behind a screen. They still could be playing that, but man, they still try to talk about this as like a one-off. Like, hey, somebody did something bad. Let's move on. And yeah, they try to focus on this coaching search, but what coach is going to come in there while the FBI or whatever, who all is there, is going to raid your office and all this other stuff that's happening? It's same old thing. Copium at its finest.
Yep. Absolute copium for sure. All right. We got Karis. What's up, Karis? Thanks always for being a Scoop Ultra member, and thanks for the $4.99. When does the Big Ten say enough is enough? They are an embarrassment. The Big Ten is not going to say anything unless, there's something that directly involves like a required statement. The Big Ten is not going to come out and say, man, listen, these jokers are ridiculous right now. This ain't a reflection of us. They're not going to do that. They're just going to be quiet. Right? You guys agree, right?
Well, look, you got to think about the Big Ten basically is a marketing organization. They market and promote their programs.
Yep.
So they're not in the business of tearing down their program. They're in the business of supporting them, enhancing them, and trying to put them in the best possible light throughout the country. So the Big Ten doesn't have an investigative arm. The Big Ten is very it's just not it's not set up to really do that. It's really the NCAA that's set up to do that right now. So if you're looking for the Big Ten to do it, I don't think we're going to see it. And again, I'd be the first one to criticize the president or whomever or whatever we want to do, but it's not their function. It's not what the Big Ten does. The NCAA is the one that's got to do something. The Big Ten, for the Big Ten, Michigan is a profit center, not a cost center. They're a big brand. They help them with their television deal. They promote them. They want them to be as strong as possible. But Michigan's not doing themselves any favors. So, but the Big Ten's not going to be help on this one, and that's just my opinion.
Yeah, agree.
Well, same with the NCAA. They got to keep Michigan profitable for long enough to collect that $30 million. You know what I'm saying? They can't let them go down too fast. Nevada, what was that thing a while back? There was some agreement that the Big Ten was trying to make, some big financial thing, and didn't Michigan threaten to leave if it went through or go do something like that? Or am I off on that? I felt like they did.
Private equity deal, and Michigan was threatening to leave if they adopted this private equity deal. And I think for Michigan, it's one of those things where it's a hollow threat. They're just that's just their way of expressing that they're really really mad at me. It's like, when you're mad about something, you're like, no, I'm not just mad. I'm really really mad about this. Well, that's what Michigan. We'll leave because nobody in the Big Ten takes it seriously. Michigan doesn't take it seriously. While we have that clown Jordan Acker, I love listening to his stupid statements from Michigan talking about we'll leave and or we're really upset. We're the leaders and the best, and it's like, no, you're not. You guys are an embarrassment. You're not leaving, so just shut up. But no, I don't even know what's going on with Michigan anymore. And I frankly, and I mean this sincerely, much like I said for the longest time, Sherrone Moore is going to be fired. I am not happy about it because I want him to be there forever. I like Michigan. This thing about leaving, please leave. Go independent. Go to the ACC. Go to the SEC. Do whatever you want. I don't care. Just leave. Go away. Don't go away mad. Just go away.
Bye,
Wh-
Felicia.
What about Ward? Do we want Ward fired?
I do just because he's a scumbag, and I don't think
Yeah.
scumbags should get paid that kind of money. I think he's an embarrassment. I think the next guy they'll hire will be, it'll be more of the same for Michigan. But Ward has been so bad, and the stuff he did in hockey. And you guys know that I'm a huge hockey fan, huge hockey guy. What he did, the stuff he did with Pearson in the hockey program was I mean, it's as bad as the football stuff, and it all happened under his watch. So yeah, no, I'm going to be happy when he's gone because he's just not a good guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not a hockey dude, so I haven't. Honestly, I'll be honest with you. I haven't looked. I've heard about the stuff, but I just wasn't as invested. And so I keep being told, for those who are in the know, like the hockey stuff is just as bad. It's like it's bad. And so it's just like I'm not even when I even say this stuff, I'm not even thinking about the hockey stuff. But that's just another pile on. It's just like, dang, man. All right, let's go on and get to the next super chat. All right, we got Jay Coburn. Thanks for the 109. I think the Browns need Stallions next season. Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm a Browns fan, man, and it is what it is. Yeah, we need something. Now, my question is, without making this a Brown show, does Stefanski survive another year, Nevada?
I just don't see how. But that guy's got 9 lives, and I've predicted his demise
Exactly.
for a long time. Eventually, I'm going to keep predicting, and eventually I'll be right, and then I'll claim victory. But no, I mean, they just need a new start. But look, I'm a lifetime Browns fan, man. Lifetime, raised that way. Been a Browns fan through thick and thin, so I'm still a Browns fan. Not as much as I am a Packers fan. This is more. I chose to be a Packers fan. I was born into being a Browns fan. But no, Stefanski can't survive. He's got to go on.
Listen,
Yep, I agree. Dev?
I don't want to turn it into this, but would the Browns have been better off with Will Howard this year?
I think so, but I'm biased. I'll be biased.
I'm biased too.
I think Will Howard is an AFC North quarterback. Would he have been ready to just go out there and cook? Probably not, but I think he could have taken his lumps like a lot of rookie quarterbacks have done and grown and been fine compared to what's happened this year so far. So I don't know if you wanted to weigh in on that, Nevada, because that's a good question.
Yeah, I don't know if any quarterback was going to be successful in this offense. I mean, I'd like to say because I don't like Shedeur Sanders. I wasn't a fan of Dylan Gabriel. Love Will Howard, but I'm not sure if the problems for the Browns are just a quarterback issue. I think it's much more deep seated than that. That's for sure.
Yeah, agreed. We can all agree on that. Toledo Geo, thanks for the 2. Nevada, do your Travion sucks 2 TDs, 50 yards today. He wants you to do your Travion sucks impression.
Well, hold on now. Travion, you guys got to understand. Travion today had 2 rushes for over 50 yards for touchdowns. That's the second time this year he's done that in a game. To have 2 touchdowns over. Now you understand he's the second player in NFL history to do that. The first player was Chris Johnson. So like that's the company that Travion's keeping right now. And the fact that Ohio State fans didn't love this guy when he was here will always be a mystery to me. And they didn't. Remember when he had he had the plantar in his foot, and people were calling him soft, and he didn't have vision, and he
Yeah.
wasn't tough, and he didn't have wiggle, and he was just a straight line guy, and he was Brandon Sane, and I'm just like, guys, this guy's a great running back. He is a great running back. Well, now he's a great running back in the NFL. So it's funny. I'll post that. I know people don't like reading that, but I'll post that in our board. I'll get a reaction. I wasn't aware that anybody ever criticized Travion. I'm like, what are you talking about? Where were you? Where were? I
Where
mean,
were you?
I used to have to defend that guy by myself. I was the lone person defending this guy, because I mean, first of all, he's the greatest kid in the world. This is the nicest kid in
Right.
the entire world. As nice as you are, B. Moses, as nice as you are, Devin, he's nicer than you two guys combined. And you guys are nice. You guys are the nicest people that I know. But Travion's just that nice. I mean, he's a great kid, and he's a bad man on the football field.
Yeah.
So I never understood the criticism, but yeah, he's setting records in the NFL, literally setting NFL history, and people didn't like him at Ohio State, and I'll never understand that.
What's
Yeah.
funny is those same people that didn't like him in the when Quinshawn and Trey ran the 40 and Quinshawn ran a faster 40 than them, they came at me a little bit saying, "Oh, look, told you, man, Trey does not have that top end speed like everybody thinks. They're just playing bums at Ohio State, this, that, whatever it was. Dude had a 65-yard touchdown run today, and I think you just spoke very eloquently about how them combine 40 times. I wouldn't pay too much attention to those when it comes to that, because Travion Henderson has top end speed, and he showed you today. So he put that to bed as well.
Well, Devin, I don't want to interrupt you, but like, has he ever been caught from behind at any level? I'm talking about high school,
No.
college, or the pros.
No.
Like, if he gets gone, he's gone. Like, you just don't catch him. So yeah, I don't care what the thing says or whatever it is, but that guy has got world class speed on the football field, because ain't nobody catching him from behind.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, man, and I love Bo Jackson, but it's like when you watch Travion Henderson today, it took you back to those moments, even as a freshman, when Travion was doing what he was doing out there. It's like, dang, man, we really miss him, because as good as Bo Jackson is, he doesn't have that speed yet to break away. He's been caught from behind several times, and don't take that as a knock on Bo Jackson. It's just that is more talking about how good of a back Travion Henderson was here. I think it's easy to forget, especially when we had him as long as we did.
Yeah, as we move on, I'll just say our fan base, I would say any fan base, but it's our fan base. We're notorious for just not appreciating players. I mean, or it's like the patience is so thin that, oh, they're injured again or something. Oh, they're a bust. No, they're not. Just wait. Guys develop on different levels. All right. Terry McLaurin was not great his first couple years at Ohio State. But guess what? He ended his career on a high level. He developed, and he's one of the best receivers in the NFL. But he did not come in as a 5-star. He did not come in like Jeremiah Smith. You see what I'm saying? It's just like our fans. Yeah, bro. Nevada, absolutely. Because I was on my pages defending Henderson. People calling him soft and all this other stuff. It's just stupid. But anyway, let's get to the next one here. Love my kids. Thanks for the 10. The fact that the toasting butter knife, teaspoon, and Crayola scissors are now dangerous and need to be registered weapons. I am in violation of probation, calling my PO first thing Monday morning. Listen, this is just another crazy part of this story. The butter knife stuff. I mean, it's just, it literally is like a written skit on SNL. It's crazy that this is on SNL, because that real situation that happened is something like that is on an SNL skit. Dev, what you got?
How many years after this, from this point, do you think we're still going to be hearing about the butter knife? How many memes do you think are going to be made about this butter knife thing now? That's really all.
Lots.
It's just,
Lots.
Yeah, the whole thing, broken program, broken people do broken, wild, insane things.
Indeed. Nevada?
Well, yeah, I mean, look, and I don't want to steal Justin Spiro's bit, but this was in my head when it said, like, I've been saying for years that Sherrone Moore ain't very smart. You know what I'm saying? And then he tries to kill himself with a butter knife. and you guys are going to push back on his not very smart thing. Like, yeah, this guy was not the sharpest tool in the shed. I think the butter knife thing will be with us forever, Dev. And yeah, he just. I tried to kill myself with a butter knife. Um, yeah, I don't know.
It, it's
Kind
an
of sums up the whole scandal as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, it's literally an SNL skit. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. All right, all right. Let's see here. We got Chris Lane. Thanks for the 10. Just because this is the best damn chat in the land, go Bucks. I agree. I've seen chats. I've watched other programs, and this chat is the littiest of littiest, and it's just the truth. So shout out to all of y'all. Y'all make this show great, and we appreciate y'all. Anything on that, Dev?
Yeah, shout out Chris, man. He's one of the loyal ones in the chat. This show, my show as well, always on here supporting us, like several other you guys that take me an hour to name. But without you guys, there is no show. And yeah, this Scoop chat, the best chat around. Go peek your head in some other chats on some other shows, and you will learn very quickly. This is a good place. If you're not in the chat and you watch all the time, get in there, man. It's cool. You get to know people, get to meet people, have cool conversations. I promise you, man, if I can sit up here and talk about Buckeye football, you can get in a chat and type about it.
Nevada?
Yeah, I just appreciate the support. We really we never take it for granted, and we certainly really appreciate you being here all the time and helping us out. So thanks a lot, Chris.
Yeah, we even appreciate you, Michigan fans and hater fan bases. I see y'all in the chat. You know, it's just funny. Y'all are hopelessly addicted. It's like you gotta tap that vein. You gotta have the Buckeye scoop, baby. You know, it's like you just hate us. It's like Steven from Django. You know, he's staring. He's looking at him like, who that on that nag? Ugh. You just mad. You just hate watching, and you love us, but you hate us. You hate us, but you love us. You can't help it. But come on back, baby. We're here. We're here all week. Be sure
There's a
to
lot
tip your
of them
wages.
tonight.
I see.
There is a lot tonight.
I'm looking through the chat right now, and I'm just like, I mean, they're just the hate watch is real. I'm looking at these comments, and I'm just laughing at
Studley's
myself.
comment.
Like, I'm
Look at
scrolling
Studley's comment.
like y'all are bugging right now. And so, listen, it's cool. Come, this is a free country. Come watch the show. We here for you. But it's just hilarious to me that y'all show up every night.
No,
But
but they're here for the truth, man. Because we give them the truth. They know it. We're giving them. They're not going to get the truth from any of those state media up there in Ann Arbor. Those guys all post that garbage. Those scam web is going to get out there and lie. You know what I'm saying? Like they're not going to get. But you come here and we tell you stuff, and then you're like, they hate it, but it's always the truth. It's always the truth, and it's always way ahead of the national media, way ahead of the local media. That's why they're here. If we were telling stories, if this was fairy tale time, they wouldn't be here. They got better things to do. Watch JJ McCarthy throw another interception tonight on Sunday Night Football or something like that. Yeah, but they're not doing it. They're here on the show. So it's because we give it to them.
Yep, we definitely give it to them. And listen, I'm going to show y'all this picture. This is our attempt. This is Buckeye Nation's attempt to try to get you to open your eyes and see the truth. Just take it in. Okay, you're cheaters, you're liars, your program is filth. Just accept it, bro. It's the truth, man. All right, let's take it off for y'all get mad at me even more. All right, let's go to the next super chat. All right, we got FS Staley. Thanks for the $4.99. B Moses, expression you are looking for to describe situation with cheaters up north is chickens are coming home to roost. Satisfying to see justice being served. That's a good one. That's a great, yes, you are correct. That is a great way of saying it. The chickens are coming home to roost. They thought it's just so funny. They celebrated a 72-page document that just condemned you as some of the worst cheaters, if not the worst cheaters ever in NCAA history. But because you didn't get the required bowl ban, that in the document it tells you this requires a 2-year bowl ban, you idiots. But because we're softies and maybe we like to line our pockets with lots of money, we're going to let you skate on this because we want money. And the kids, we're sad for the kids there. They didn't do anything, so we're not going to pop them. So now you thought you escaped whatever. Not only that, you've not made the playoffs the last 2 years. You lost to Ohio State. You can't cling to that anymore. And now this is happening. And it's much worse than what would have happened if you would have got the 2-year bowl ban. The media would have said something for one day. Stephen A would have said something on First Take, and then it would have went away. This is not going away anytime soon. So have at it. Dev, what you got?
You know, I'm telling you, man, when you look at the Ohio State media, just in general, we are included in that. A couple other people are included in that. You see people, right? Some better than others, but for the most part, there's no Portnoy, right? There's no these other clowns getting up there with that charade that he puts on. And, you know, Nevada brought it up, and B, you've brought it up. We all know that's what he does. That's his business. That's how he makes his money, right? So he has to do that. And Spiro got on a Spaces with him on X the other day and absolutely shoved him in a closet. So Portnoy exited him out and went on this rant about how he just shoved Spiro in a locker. And I'm telling you right now, most of these fans, Michigan fans that are in this delusional world that they live in, it's because they follow Portnoy. They follow their media people over there, that these media guys are doing it for clicks, for money, for their business. And they might be able to separate reality. Portnoy might be able to actually know the truth, but he puts this charade on. But their fans don't know it's a charade. They believe it. They soak it in. They take it as gospel, and it leaks down. And we're still here. At this point in time, if you start talking to a Michigan fan and he cannot say his program is trash, they need to do a complete overhaul, then there is no hope of them switching or turning their ways, because can you think of anything else horrible that could happen? I mean, the evidence is there. So it's all their media. They follow their most popular media guys. I mean, what's the guy's face you just brought up? I'm forgetting his name. Desmond and Portnoy, two very popular guys. Yeah. Listen to how they talk. Their fan base takes on their personality and their mindset. It's wild, bro. I'm telling you, it's exactly what's happening.
Yep, Nevada.
Well, yeah, you just don't have anybody who's really an articulate defender of their position, who can really articulate the Michigan position. I mean, Steve DeAce is probably the guy that would be that guy, and even he can't come up with any type of a coherent defense of Michigan anymore. And I think he's even stopped trying. So, yeah, when you've lost guys like that, and you're just left with the shock jocks, with the Howard Sterns of Michigan football trying to be your defenders, well, you've already lost the battle.
Very true. Very true. Toledo Geo, thanks for the 2. Biff is the next blonde with big hooters to turn. I don't even know what that. I mean, yeah, it's just the same cat yesterday that had the funny super chat say he's going to start an LLC, B Moses LLC for hair clippers. Funny comments, man. But yeah, this whole thing is a complete joke. But yeah, they'll parade around Biff Poggi. It's going to happen. And unless somebody just says, screw it, I'm going to take the bag and just set myself up for failure and get this payday real quick. Other than that, it's looking like Poggi time, Nevada.
Yeah, I think it's absolutely Poggi time. And you know what other time it is? It's time for you to subscribe to this channel, because, only 40% of the people watching have subscribed to the channel. So if you're one of the people that hasn't subscribe to the channel. Hit that subscribe button on YouTube. It's right there. It says subscribe. Just click that. Click the alert buttons. Go to Apple Podcasts. Hit that. Help us out with the thing. But yeah, Biff, we're calling it right now. We're going. Biff is a very live. They'll say, "Oh, the players wanted Biff. The players. He's very popular with the players." And Biff had a great game plan for Underwood, and he killed the opponent. It's like, which directional Michigan team was it when Underwood had his breakout game? When Underwood came up against us in the Big House in the biggest game of the season, he outperformed the Make-A-Wish kid by 1 yard. And so, yeah, I think Biff is going to be a popular guy because he might be the last man standing in this. He might be, literally, it's him or Tony Alford. It's Tony Alford or Biff Poggi as the guy. So it could be Biff. Biff could be the big winner.
Dev?
Well, I'm upset at Nevada. It was my turn to tell people to subscribe, right? So I'm going to take the moment. I'm going to use my turn. There's a competition between us three on this show. They don't know it's a competition, but it is. Whoever gets the most subs from the timeline when they say subscribe wins the competition. So it's 9:01. If you haven't hit the subscribe button, I do need you to hit it. It's going to go towards my my calculation to see who wins the battle tonight. So hit the subscribe button, man. That's all I have. But I did hear that instead of firing Ward Manuel, they are looking to possibly demote him to the football coach. B. Moses.
No, subscribe because I told you to. Screw these two.
We're coming up on 30. Here's the funny thing about the whole subscribe thing. It seemed like yesterday we were at 37,000. It literally seems like yesterday. It was like yesterday at Thursday. Now we're coming up. We're like 100 away from 38,000, and it's just crazy because I'm just like typing. I'm like, wait, didn't we just hit 37? And like, yeah, we literally just screamed on right on by that. So biggest Ohio State program on YouTube. Biggest program in the history of YouTube for Ohio State football, and you guys are part of it. And we just thank you guys. Thank you guys so much for making the show so popular. We really do appreciate it.
Absolutely, and yeah, I mean we're cooking, man, and we appreciate y'all. All right, what is the next one here? Okay, we got a sticker. I just said the other day,
super sticker.
Yeah,
super sticker
alert.
Super sticker.
What?
Ernie Gonzalez.
Where is it?
I don't know. Like
I don't know.
Ernie,
we don't know
where do you find a super sticker? Because I can't.
I
see
think
it producing the show.
I think they send them in the mail. I think we get them in the mail.
No, I think this is the super. This is Devin hitting the golf ball 365 yards. I think that's the super sticker.
Finally, Nevada speaks truth on the channel. Yes.
Exactly. Yes, 365 from the gold tees, man. I'm telling you what, you're killing it. You're driving it over the green there, Devin. You got to back it up, man.
We got to get some footage of this, man.
I'll
give
it to
you. Throw a baseball in person and dunk some poor little Wisconsin Badger fan on campus into the water to dunk Fickle. That was amazing to see. I would love to see the golf swing in person. So yeah, we need to make that happen.
I'll
get a video.
I want to see you out in the basketball court dunking the ball. B, can you still get up there?
Yes, but I need to stretch for about 25 minutes. Let me stretch. Let me throw some Bengay on, and yes, I will get you at least 2 or 3 dunks.
Okay,
after
now
that,
good ones, or just kind of like
just
dunks,
okay
like
ones, just dunks, just dunks. This is not 25-year-old B Moses where I was like catching bodies on the court here in Columbus. That's not me anymore. Let's just be real.
What if I send a video? What if I send a video of me driving it 365 yards and then turning around and dunking it on a basketball hoop?
Wow,
what would you do then, Nevada?
I think that I would know that the AI thing was in full effect there or something.
Oh man, that is funny. That is hilarious. Real quick,
Super sticker
alert, man. I love it. That's just I gotta share this meme. I forgot I made this meme. Of the blue wall. I made this like, I don't know, 2 years ago. This is the blue wall of delusion meme that I made. Right? And I was just like, you know what? I need to share this. I forgot that I made this. You got Scam Webb. He's peeking around the wall. You got Steve the Ace. Oh, he's blaming Ryan Day's brother, but it's Ryan Day's fault. Look, there's the play sheet that Connor Stallions, had. It's that's the blue wall, folks. So anyway, all right. I'm a meme nerd. Next super chat. What we got next? We got Mike Green. Thanks for the 199. B, why are you just talking to me? Why aren't you talking to all the fellas? B, that chick is unbelievable. Laugh out loud. 10 of 10. If it's the chick I saw with the curly hair, light skinned chick, yeah, she's pretty. But I was surprised that he diverted from the blonde pond. I was like, this can't be. That's not his type.
The curly haired chick that he wanted to hug real bad?
Yeah, I think that's the light skinned chick.
That's who it is.
That's who it is. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
No, he didn't do anything with her, man. He just hugged her. You guys are spreading misinformation.
Come over to my place so you can hug me. Like, come on, dog. Nevada, get your man, son. Get your
Well, yeah, the story had come out that he'd asked her to bring 3 of his friends, and if all 4 of them were going to hug Sherrone. That was the story. That's, but this is a family show, so I'm just gonna we'll just leave it at
you
we'll
can't
just
make this stuff up.
we'll just leave it at
They
that.
have a name for that. Next super
Yeah.
chat. Be
Yes,
Yeah.
they do. That's why
Earmuffs.
when he was putting up
Kids.
4, when we had the 4 fingers up 4 before for Sharon. Yeah, we know what you were talking about, Sharon.
Remember the movie Old School? Vince Vaughn, he would say to the kid, earmuffs,
Yep.
and then he would just start talking, saying inappropriate stuff. Anyway, oh boy. All right.
Oh boy.
Ernie Gonzalez, thanks for the 499. Does saying being disrespected at the Heisman, I'm sorry, Julian saying, does Julian saying being disrespected at the Heisman press meeting a good thing for Ohio State, bad for everybody else? Yes, it is. He's a competitor like everybody else. It's good. The Heisman thing is great. Like me and Nevada have said so many times, we know our logic is not 100% and it's flawed in the sense that no, just because Troy Smith and Ohio State didn't work out with the national championship game and there was distractions doesn't mean that's always going to be the case. But that's what we remember in our last Heisman Trophy run. And so to me, it would have been great to see Sam win the Heisman. And I would believe he can get over the distraction hump, but we don't have to worry about that. Now it's fuel. It's tackling fuel, okay, for him and JJ, because they both got snubbed. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, I didn't expect Sam to win the Heisman because they lost to Indiana. But fourth, that's was just like, come on, y'all tripping with this, Dev.
Did you guys see the Michigan fans trying their best to troll that Julian saying the redshirt freshman quarterback didn't win the Heisman? I mean, they were all over Twitter today, and I'm like, who are you guys trying to troll right now?
Right.
We were well aware he wasn't going to win, but yes, you screwed up. The first people that screwed up was Indiana and the receiver who stuck the finger out and said that something to Ohio State. You screwed up there. And then JJ Smith not winning the award, you screwed up. You guys screwed up, man. And this is leading me to believe that the red zone stuff we saw in the Indiana game, they just didn't want to bring out the big time plays that they're going to in the playoffs. So yes, I'm still riding that train that we haven't seen their actual thing. But yeah, this team's going to be, locked in. Several awards that should have gone the Buckeyes' way did not. Shout out Jerry Emig, the one and only boss man status, just absolutely blows at his job.
Nevada
Sorry.
Buck.
Well, yeah, I love Indiana sweeping all the awards: Coach of the Year, Maxwell Player of the Year, Heisman Trophy. Give it to him. Give it all to him because I would never. Are either one of you guys even slightly afraid of seeing Indiana again in the playoffs? Should they end up where that would, for me, it's not about like revenge and this and that. I just know we're so much better than that team. I think we'd run those guys off the field. So there's already one big team that I'm just absolutely not concerned about whatsoever. And I think they're going to make an early exit. I think Oregon's going to run those guys off the field. Maybe this works out well. Maybe they're the first team in history that can get all the accolades, all the love, all the stuff, and it doesn't affect them. But I don't think so. I think the moment's going to be too big for them, and I don't think they're that good. I'm just telling you right now. I don't think IU's that good. I think we played about as poorly as you can possibly play. Still should have won the game going away by multiple scores. We just, if we convert a quarterback sneak, if we don't just lose our mind in the red zone.
Right.
So yeah, I'd love to see those guys again.
Yep, definitely. I agree. All right. We got Buddha King Kush. What up, Unc? That's my uncle. Thanks for being a Scoop Ultra member. Thanks for the 999. I see Underwood heading for the door, making his way down to Baton Rouge. I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to say no because I think LSU would pay him. They would match or say, hey, would it be competitive? But I don't know what you guys think. What's the percentage chance of this happening? Because again, the portal is coming up January 2nd. Still no coach hired. if Poji's the guy, I mean, it's just like, what's the future going to be like? Who's going to develop him? Because it's not just about the head coach. Who's going to develop him? Right? I mean, it's just like, it's one thing you're making a lot of money, but if he wants to go to the NFL, this ain't it, fellas. Dev.
Well, I'll tell you this. So they have lost 2 recruits already. And behind the scenes, Nevada brought up something interesting when this first happened. He told Carter Meadows, go renegotiate. Nevada, I believe that the Michigan team and the players were listening to our podcast because that is happening. So regardless of what is reported by these guys, right, there are players and there are recruits that are going and trying to take advantage of this situation. Whether you think that's right or wrong, that's your opinion, but it is happening. Whether that's reported, whether these recruits are coming out and saying, no, all is well, I'm a Michigan man. Yeah, I'm a Michigan man because I just got $200,000 more a year because of the situation that is happening, right? So that is going on, right? People can not say it is. There was a certain recruit, right, that we had information on. We posted on it, who came out and said a certain something, but we know, right, what the truth was. We know what was going on behind the scene, and it is continuing to go on. But how could it not? I mean, if you're a recruit or you're a family that just signed, how can you not feel deceived? And also, if you're a player, right, that is there, how could you not feel deceived? And there are players that allegedly knew about this as well that used that to their advantage, right, throughout the season, allegedly. But I'm sure we'll hear more about that later.
Nevada.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think it's really going to be interesting to see because I for one have a lot of respect for Lane Kiffin as a football coach. I know that's an unpopular view, but I think Lane Kiffin's a hell of a football coach, and I just don't know if he's going to latch his start up to Underwood because I just don't think Underwood's very good, and I don't think he's a fast processor. He's got terrible mechanics, and so I'm just not sure, but. I think a lot of it's going to depend on the timing on the hiring of the head coach, and that's probably why Michigan's rushing to make this coaching hire right now. But if it's Biff Poggi, is Underwood going to stay around? I'd say no. I'd say it's at best 50-50 that he's in uniform next year for Michigan, despite their best efforts to keep him there.
Yeah, I think that's fair. And real quick before we go on, I want to take this time to remind y'all that we got a special guest tomorrow. We're going to have Tate from Barstool on the show tomorrow. Okay, on tomorrow's show. If you're not familiar with his content, he has great content. IG, TikTok, whatever. He does reels. Funny dude. Very condescending to Michigan fans. He goes at Portnoy's neck, which I love. Great dude. We're gonna have him on the show. Excited about that tomorrow as a reminder. All right, we got Toledo Geo again. Thanks for the 2. Shador looked good today. Good and terrible. That's a quote from Coming to America. If you didn't know, that's a quote. But listen, I do like Shador. Okay, I like Shador. Like Nevada said earlier, nobody's going to be great in this offense. He's a rookie. I'm not tripping on him. The Browns' offense is just bad. Period. But yes, it's just not good. It was very, very bad today, Nevada.
Well, I mean, like the conditions. I was in Chicago over the weekend watching my daughter play hockey, and let me tell you what, it was cold. I mean, and it was a different kind of cold. It was like that cold that, like, when you step out, it like takes your breath away and hurts your lungs because it's so cold. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like, one of my kids was like, "Hey, Dad, let's go to Soldier Field and watch the Browns game playing in Shador." And I said, "Look, I would rather sit courtside at a WNBA game and cheer on Angel Reese the entire time than go watch this Browns game today." So that's how cold it was. So I got to give him some grace because I don't think anybody was going to look good in that. The weather was brutal. I mean, there's cold, and then there was that. I think it was the coldest game in the history of Chicago football. I mean, it was that bad. Really, really cold.
Dang.
And that's saying a lot for Chicago. I mean, that's a big statement. And Dev, God bless you, sir, down in Florida. Just enjoy. I don't know what the weather is down there, but it ain't up here. It's 7 degrees here in Columbus. The high today was 10. And so it's just cold in the Midwest right now.
Hey,
so,
it got cold this weekend here. It got cold.
43.
I'm telling you, man. I'm serious. I had to put a hoodie on to go outside, and I was still cold. Yeah. It got down in the low 50s, man. It was brutal. Brutal outside.
Fellas, you know what I haven't done in a while? Go ahead, Nevada.
Hashtag pray for Devin.
Prayers.
Yo, why are you just
scripture-
coming at me? Just
for
where
Fahad.
It's
Nevada
cold,
lives?
man.
What's going on here?
It's cold, man. Cold. Man. I had to put on a hoodie. Oh, there we go. Trick Daddy. Trick Daddy.
There it is, dude. That's great.
Look at that. It's
Trick.
69 down in Florida. You
Yeah.
liar.
Exactly.
Oh man. All right.
Yo,
all right,
hey,
all right.
real fast, B, you shouted out Ohio's tape for tomorrow, dude. I got to shout out Sports Talk Jay again. Had me on his show.
Yeah.
He's going to be coming over here on the Scoop channel a little bit more. For those of you guys that are a fan of him, he wants to, be a part of what we got going on and vice versa. So Sports Talk Jay, shout out to him, man. Everything he's doing. He follows this Michigan stuff very closely as well. Great show, great personality. Go check his stuff out, man.
Yeah, great call out. We're just adding on to the super friend list at this point. I mean, it's just incredible. And yeah, he's a great dude, man. And great show for sure. All right. Love my kids. Thanks for the 5. Off topic. I never realized the deceit and desperation in football, NFL until my son played for the Raiders. No honor in the league. Wow. I mean, I'm sure you got some stories with a big business like that. Yeah. I mean, I know some guys as well. I'm not going to get into it, who had some run-ins and experiences, and it's a beast. It's a beast. You better be ready to step into that. And that's why a lot of NFL players, when they're asked in interviews, like compare it to college and school, they're like, man, there's no comparison. Like school was fun. Like, there's love. And like, it's just like the brotherhood is real. Like this is a business. And listen, obviously these guys make millions of dollars. So a lot of people are crying for them, but it's still, it's a challenge. I mean, it's grimy. So I definitely hear you. Love my kids. What you got on that, Nevada?
Wait a second, you can't come in and drop my son played for the Raiders and like, come on, I need to know. Like, you can't just come in and throw that in there.
I was going to let it slide. I was.
I know. No. Like, your son played for the Raiders. I mean, that's an unbelievable accomplishment. I got to ask who your son is. So if we can get some description or what side of the ball or where did he play college or whatever.
Yeah.
But your son played for the Raiders. That's balling, dude. That's unbelievable. And congrats to you and to your son. What an unbelievable accomplishment.
Man, I'm about to shoot my shot here. If your son is interested in being interviewed on the Buckeye Boys, shoot me an email at thebuckeyeboys@gmail.com.
Now, isn't that 3 Z's? 3 Z's on the Buckeye Boys,
Yeah,
right?
3 Z's at the end. 3 Z's at the end, man.
Yeah, you got
All
2
right.
Z's. It takes you to some porn site if you only do the 2 Z's or something like that.
2 Z's.
It takes you to Sherrone Moore's Facebook page.
Sherrone Moore.
You are
Oh
stupid.
no, you did not just go. Oh no. Oh no. We should do that. We should buy the domain and like link the Buckeye Boys 2 Z's to Sherrone Moore's IG page.
He said buy the domain.
Oh no.
Yes. Oh no, indeed. All right. Let me
boy.
see what we got. What we got here? I don't want to miss no super chats. Did I skip one? No, Unc. I think you sent your super chat twice. Thanks for the $4.99. That's my uncle. This is like my actual real life uncle. He became a Scoop Ultra member a few weeks ago.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
Yeah. Yep.
That's really,
so I think you sent this twice. Appreciate you, though, Unc. All right, here we go. Let's see. Next super chat, Mr. Apollo. The Cheater Up North job is not a great job. 16 of the last 30 years equals 10 wins. We know 2 out of 3 of those were from Spygate. OSU has 25 years of 10 plus. Tired of hearing that job is great. They hate us because they ain't us. Yeah, I think they're living even their so-called blue blood status. And I say so-called because historically you can look back and say, yeah, they're a blue blood. They won a lot of games against the local dentistry schools and YMCAs, and they stacked up a lot of wins that way. But to me, they're not a current blue blood. They're not a modern blue blood if you look at their resume, right? I mean, a lot of their glory is past Michigan. You know what I'm saying? Outside of the cheating scandal, they have a half a title since 1948. We don't count the cheating scandal. So, yes, they have a recognizable Block M and a helmet they stole from Princeton. But other than that, like, what are they? They got a lot of money. So from that standpoint, yeah, their recruiting base is not great. They've had to steal from Ohio, the Charles Woodsons and the Desmond Howards and some other kids to even really make their program. So what really do they have other than that? And that's just real. So I don't know what you think about that, Dev. What you got on that, man?
Dude, I'm gonna be honest. I think the same way. I hear people say that all the time, and it's just like I feel like all of like that name that got built up, it's all from mainly past things, right? To make the brain dam so big. But you look at what it's going through now. Like when do you get removed from the blue blood status? Like you can't tell me right now. Like right now in the state of this football program, are we really still saying that Michigan is a top 10, right, place coaches want to go right now, today, right now? Would they really? Is it really? Like, I know you go both ways with that. I know some people say, Devin, you sound like an idiot, like you don't know what you're talking about. I get it. But really? I mean, look at what's been going on there. Their status is going down. There's no doubt about that. I mean, that fake natty is the only thing they're holding on to, with any recency.
Yeah, Nevada.
Well, yeah. I mean, look, their success during that 3-year period was such an outlier. We've outlined, how bad their program was before that, how bad their program's been after that, and I look at the people saying that Michigan's like a great brand. It'd be like people saying Sears was a great store. You know what I'm saying? Like when I was little, Sears was a great store. Sears was cool. It was awesome. You know what I'm saying? But it's not awesome anymore. Sears is just not awesome. So it's like
that is a great comparison.
It is.
Michigan is Sears.
They are Sears. That's who they are.
JCPenney catalog.
They're Montgomery Ward. They're Blockbuster. There's something that used to be really cool. I used to go down to Blockbuster and you'd wait for that video to come in, like you're waiting for used cars or something to be brought back in. And you're like, hey, is that used cars? Is that being checked in? And you'd grab it and you'd grab the popcorn thing and you'd be like, man, I got a great night. I got used cars and I got a popcorn thing for there and so maybe some goobers. And like, this is the best night ever. But I mean, now, like, it's just Blockbuster doesn't even live anymore. Michigan football is like Blockbuster. It's Sears. I mean, Sears catalog used to come out every year. Man, in Christmas time, Sears catalog.
Magical.
Oh,
magical.
That was magic. That was magical.
So everybody head to your Twitter account right now. Put Michigan equals #Sears. Shout out Nevada Buck. Shout out Nevada Buck.
I love it.
Gotta get it going.
I love it. And speaking of love it, love my kids again. Thanks for the 5. Shout out at Sherrone 420 made my Sunday. Is that one of the chatters? Is that one of the scoop chatters? Not sure, but I'm glad they made your Sunday. That is good to hear. All right, Braden Hatton. Thanks for the $1.99. Who's gonna make the Sherrone mugshot T-shirts? They're already made. Like there's people I've already seen them. They're out there. So sad but true. Dev, have you seen them?
No, I haven't seen them, but one could assume that that's out there. I mean, it was out the day this happened. I'm sure it was out there along with several other things.
Yeah.
Speaking of shirts, B. Moses, I know you made a pretty cool shirt you wear on the show every once in a while. It'd be nice to be able to purchase one of those one day.
Oh yeah, it's like the Tecmo Bowl, the 4 plays. Yeah. We got to get on that. That's a good call out. Yeah. Nevada, you got anything on the mugshot shirts?
I haven't seen the mugshot shirts, but that whole mugshot thing and that whole thing of him in the room with giving those Hannibal Lecter vibes there, you know what I'm saying? Like that's going to be with that picture was disturbing. That's going to be with me for a really, really long time. But the Tecmo Bowl thing, you got to do one that's got like 13 personnel, 14 personnel, and then like 15 personnel or something like that. And, one is just all tight ends, like just all like 11 tight ends out there in the field or something like that. Because that's what a red zone offense is like.
That's a good idea. Hopefully, good Lord. That's my biggest question. As we look forward to the game is, are we going to scrap it at least in the red zone? But that's a whole nother pod. I will move on.
Go ahead. Just real. I forgot to bring this up earlier. You guys remember last year, Michigan fans talking about how they broke us because of the flag planting thing, and all the memes are out for that.
Yes.
Well, we beat them this year. I think they went a little further than trying to defend their field. I just had to point that out real fast. I just had to point it out.
Yeah.
I think we broke them worse.
Oh, but listen, we broke them with Urban Meyer. I saw a meme earlier that said, remember, all of these scandals started because Michigan could not, Harbaugh could not beat Urban Meyer. Like, that's the origin. So that's what broke them, to where they were just willing to do whatever they wanted to do. And now we're just breaking them again, like Vecna.
Yeah.
Stranger Things fans, y'all know what I'm talking about. All right. Circle back, Nevada. Anyway. Mike Green, thanks for the $4.99. Unc, remember, we had a guy on here calling Trey soft, and I super chatted calling him out how stupid he was. Pure idiot. Yes, this revisionist history by some people is ridiculous. Trey Henderson was getting like hit with jab after jab. And so, yeah, I mean, look at him now. I mean, look at him last year. You know what I'm saying? And Dev, to the people who were saying, oh, he didn't have top end speed in the combine. Did you not watch the Oregon game? Did you not watch the Texas game in the Cotton Bowl? Like, what are we even talking about here? Dev, what you got on that?
Same thing, man. I mean, there's always one of them. You got to wonder when they're on this channel saying stuff like that. You got to wonder if they're really Buckeye fans or maybe some trolls lurking around. That happens from time to time over here. Shout out to the trolls. Appreciate the view.
Shout out trolls. Nevada?
Well, yeah, and as much as I love Quinshawn, do you think about that national championship game where he broke loose in the early second half and they got tracked down? Like, Trey ain't getting caught. Trey ain't getting caught. Trey's running through the running through the debris there at the Atlanta or at the stadium down there, and we're just we're picking up the confetti. But yeah, nobody's ever caught that guy from behind, and the first time that happens will be the first time.
Yep, for sure. All right, Mike Green, once again, thanks for the 199. As a black conservative blue delusional state. No politics, Mike. No politics. No politics. No politics. No. I love you, brother. I love you, man. You my dog. But no politics. All right. Free Pine Land, thanks for the $9.99. The reason Sherrone Moore lost his job is the same reason he lost to Ohio State. He lost control of the D.
Oh boy.
Oh no.
Oh, yeah.
Oh wow.
And you know what?
Wow.
I try to go through it. I try to go
Yeah.
through and read super chats beforehand to know what I'm getting into. and I didn't. This one slipped right past.
No,
I didn't see this one.
You walked right into this one. You walked right into it, B. I saw it. I'm like, oh no, B's walking right into it. I'm like, B, don't walk right into it.
I'm like,
you walked right. Oh no.
No. That's crazy. Free Pine, hilarious. But we'll move on. Okay, because I don't think y'all need to elaborate on that.
No.
Speaks for itself. All right, Geo Dick. Thanks for the 5. Nevada would remember. Scumbag fans have been delusional since Dennis Franklin, also from Ohio, by the way. What you got on that, Nevada?
Yeah, no. Look, the Michigan fans have always been delusional. They're still complaining about whether the field goal in the 10-10 game, whether the field goal was made at the end of the game or not. I mean, like, there's all sorts of different things that they're delusional about, and I think for not getting the 80 vote to go to the Rose Bowl when the Rose Bowl used to mean something, and hey. You know, I think it's all part of being the Michigan man, but they've just never had the opportunity to be embarrassed. I don't think any program has. Has any program ever gotten to this level? I mean, honestly, is there one I'm forgetting?
Penn State is the closest.
Yeah, and this is worse. This is worse. I mean, it's not worse than child rape, but it's worse in terms of just being
it's more
far reach. It's more. It's just more,
and it's not over either.
Right.
No, it's not.
Exactly. All right. Mike Green, thanks for the 199. Sherrone offered the IG model a date to a YMCA concert. Listen, I'm willing to believe anything at this point, Mike. I mean, if your game, if your one-liner is come by the crib so we can hug,
oh no,
I'm willing to believe anything, fellas. What you got?
Yeah. He went with the hug thing, which is which is bad, man. That's it. But he does. You can tell Sherrone does not have game. I mean, Sherrone does not have. I mean, Sherrone had to get his side piece a pizza named for her at the Brown Jug or whatever. And then the Michigan people were denying that was even happening. Did you see that? They're like,
Yes.
So
that would never.
so
That
Nevada. So that's real. That's
Yes.
real.
yes.
God.
Funky Buckeye was calling, asking for the pizza at the place. He called him. He spam called him. Funky Buckeye was spam calling that place, trying to order the Paige Shivers pizza. I'm not kidding. 50 calls in a row. Hey, can I get the Paige Shivers pizza?
Yeah,
No wonder he's not allowed. No wonder he's not allowed at the game.
No, he's not allowed. He's not allowed in the state, man. No, he literally spam called him trying to order the pizza. So, shout out Funky Buck.
Y'all think we joking about this stuff?
No,
Gio
no.
did. Thanks for the 2. CFB should be frightened because JJ is angry, and Julian saying is angry too. But yes, I would agree. JJ is not happy. He's the wrong guy to make upset, fellas. Dev, you agree? I'm sure you do.
100%. Remember last year's playoff? I mean, we're rolling right into it. Indiana, not the same thing, but these players, they're trust me, they're fired up.
Yep, Nevada. Pissed off
Yeah,
JJ.
JJ's gonna do work. Watch. Bet the over prop on receiving for JJ.
Yep. Be afraid. Be very afraid. All right, let me see what we got. Mr. Apollo, thanks for the 5. IU being on 60 Minutes for having 2 winning seasons. Ugh, I'm gonna need Moore's butter knives. Laugh aloud, a couple of bonds. OH, fellas.
Oh
man. See, it's just bro, like you did this, you brought this on yourself. Who I think that was that Martin or Fresh Prince? That was Fresh Prince. You brought this on yourself. I mean, it just need to say no more, man. It's just like you can't make this stuff up with the butter knives, man. Again, when that first popped, I thought it was a joke. I thought it was a joke until I heard the prosecutor say it in the courtroom, fellas. So anyway, love my kids. Thanks for the 5. Sherrone watched Old School streaking through the pod, and the only one cop. Thank you. When I brought up the Old School movie, we're movie guys here, and I'm a big Vince Vaughn guy and Will Ferrell guy. If you have not seen the movie Old School, hilarious. We're streaking. I'm sure you've seen that. Please tell me y'all have seen that, fellas.
I saw it at the theater. I saw it at the theater, man. That's how old school I am. Is I actually saw it at the movie theater.
Yeah, that is a classic. I love that movie. You're my boy, Blue. I love that movie.
Dang, right. Nevada, you saw that in theaters?
I saw that. I like to go. I'm like the guy that likes to go to the theater. Like I like to go to the theater and get the popcorn and the drink and the whole thing. Like I love going to the movie theater. I'm that guy.
Dang. I watched that on VHS for the first time a while back. Anyway, sorry.
Love my kids again. Thanks for the 5. What's the email? It's a crazy story. I'm almost ended up in the lockup like Sherrone behind his position coach. Don't ever play with my babies. What I got on that?
Oh, it sounds like we need to get you on so I can hear that story.
Yeah.
It's the Buckeye Boys, THE Buckeye Boys with 3 Z's at gmail.com. Steely could probably put it in the chat. One of the mods can.
Yeah.
Or Buckeye Scoop at gmail.com. Either one.
Yeah, please. Let's make this happen. Love my kids for sure. All right, Mike Green again. Thanks for the 199. 18, 3 or more lost seasons since 2005. Scum realism. Yep, that just screams blue blood. That screams modern day blue blood, doesn't it, fellas? Nevada?
Yeah, I mean, look, they've been really mediocre and not getting better. I mean, they were excited about a 5-loss season last year, and they're probably walking into a 4-loss season this year. So it's not improving, and the roster stinks. So I don't see how it's going to get better from here.
Yeah, Dev.
Ditto.
Yeah, I mean it's clear. It's clear. Mark, Reverend, what's up, brother? Thanks for being a Scoop Ultra member. Thanks for the $4.99. Anyone seeing this chat might have all of us sent to the happy farm. Yeah, I mean this chat is, like I said, incredible. Best chat ever. Y'all never disappoint. Super chats are hilarious. Y'all get after these trolls. Y'all represent. Absolutely love y'all. What y'all got on the chat, fellas?
Best around. Best around. I'm telling you, if you're not in the chat and you're listening, you got to type something in there, man. Start talking with these guys. They're not all that crazy.
Yeah, they're the real show. The chat's the energy for the show, man. So we appreciate you guys all showing up.
Absolutely. Love my kids. Once again, for the two slow like Sherrone, put in that chat, please. Yeah. Keep it coming. Love my kids. I listen, you've been on fire today. Email. Definitely want to get your peoples on the show and tell their story for sure. But that concludes the super chats. Listen, great show, fun show. I always have a good time with these dudes, man. Separately, together, all that, man. Listen, great fun. We're gonna keep doing this on Sundays. This type of panel look and have some fun, fellas. Any last words before we hop off?
I'll just say
Dude,
tomorrow night show. Ohio State. Be there. Going to be a big show. So we'll be there, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. But Ohio State tomorrow night going to be a big one.
Yeah, Dev.
Yeah, great show. Appreciate everybody in the chat, man. I will be on a show tomorrow as well. The same normal thing that we do on the Scoop and the Buckeye Boys as well. So see y'all tomorrow. Week chock full of shows with special guests coming on that show as well. So Scoop's got you covered. Whatever you need, we got you.
Absolutely. Listen, Buckeye Scoop family, Buckeye Nation, we love you. We appreciate you. Until next time, go Bucks and peace.